All right, everyone. We are ThermoBrick, which is a biofuel company, and we're going to talk to you guys about the market entry into Russia. Oh, I'm Dan, sorry. This is Matt, Kai, Evelina, and Peter.
So first I just wanted to give you a brief overview of the product itself. A ThermoBrick is actually a wood briquette. It measures 6 inches by 4 inches by 2.5 inches, so it's basically the size of an actual brick. It's a premium briquette because it has less than 6% moisture inside of it and also has less than 0.5% ash. It's made of highly compressed hardwood sawdust such as birch trees, aspen trees, and alder trees. And these are a good alternative to coniferous trees because they have a slower combustion rate and they also have a quick growth rate, so that helps with kind of replenishment. And then in terms of the product packaging, there will be 2 options. Both of them will be packaged in bags to repel moisture so that they stay fresher longer. But option 1 is going to be a 10-kilogram bag. This will be more appropriate for residential use where they're not using as much energy, and they also have less storage space for the actual bags themselves. Option 2 is going to be for a 1-ton pallet, which will contain 110-kilogram bags. And that's more for commercial use where they require much more energy usage, and they also have a larger space to store it.
With over 1 billion hectares of wooded area, Russia has a formidable position in the manufacturing sector due to its natural resources. This has led to new technology that uses low-value forest byproducts as a renewable energy source. Specifically, in the Nitsy region, the government has been raising efficiency standards through competitive contractual relationships by using local fuels and energy resources. As far as household heating, nearly 200,000 households in 11 districts currently rely on coal, firewood, and gas tanks, which are 11 times more expensive than ThermoBrick. With gross regional income at nearly $12.5 billion and unemployment rates at around 4.5%, the Nitsy region is the perfect sector for the introduction of ThermoBrick.
To conduct the competitive analysis of the market, we conducted forces by forces analysis, and the entry into the industry is quite high due to the cost as well as achieving economies of scale. The supplier power is limited due to wood waste of hardwood mills having little use outside of biofuel industry. And buyers have a variety of choices. Our buyers are households, builders, and developers. But ultimately, they're going to base their decision based on cost. Our competition, our local competition, currently competes on price. ThermoBrick is using differentiation strategy with the service, delivery, and payment options. As you can see, additionally, only 10% is left for domestic consumption. 90% of the current pellets is exported, which is only enough for 3,333 households. Also, the threat of substitutes is quite high, but again, it depends on the availability and the pricing. Can you go back one more slide? On the gas, if you have the ability to connect to a pipeline, or if you're already connected, then that is your best option. It's the cheapest. However, if you don't, it costs you $25,000 just to hook up to the pipeline, besides jumping through bureaucratic hooks. Now, half the region that doesn't have the availability of the pipeline, their option is to buy tanks and gas, which is 11 times more expensive than regular gas. Firewood is inexpensive, but it's bulky, difficult to store. When you cut firewood, it's 50% moisture rate, which means that before you can actually use it and get the maximum efficiency out of it, it needs to season for 9 to 18 months. The coal is expensive. It needs extensive upkeep as far as servicing and cleaning the furnaces. Also, when coal burns, it produces lots of ash and releases sulfur, which is very dangerous. And also, you could see at the top, briquettes are much more environmentally conscious than the other types of fuel. And it's only second, if you could see here, behind gas and heat generating ability. And the efficiency of briquettes is quite high. However, it's not the cheapest option, but when you don't have the availability of a pipeline, you're going to be paying so much more for gas in a tank. And then the bulkiness, again, this is the kilograms, how much you'll be using. This is a maximum capacity for an average cottage of 200 square feet. The amount of wood that you'll need is almost twice as large as of briquettes, but with our delivery options, you won't need to have that much on hand.
So for our SWOT analysis, as you see, our main strength is we have offered premium grade quality, premium grade briquette. This will add for our brand image. Then we go to weaknesses. It is a new market. We don't have, we're coming in owning the distribution channels. So there is no market for thermobrick. This is a new company. As we say, our opportunities, the main one we're looking at is the growing middle class, which because of the Nizhny region, a lot of people are spreading out to the northern region and the southern region. There'll be a map later in the presentation you'll see for that. And then as you see, our threats, as always with Russia, is really corruption in the government. It pay off a lot of things.
The primary use of briquettes is heating air, but you can also use it in barbecues as it releases no smoke whatsoever. And the primary target would have to be middle class and higher due to the cost of the product. And our first primary target market is the households that cannot get access to a pipeline for gas, which is roughly 200,000 households in the region. And also we're targeting new construction and remodeling as middle class. As their incomes go up, they choose to move to freestanding houses. And 13% of the current residents in the region are unhappy with their current housing due to the inability and the lack of heat. And additionally, we're going to be selling to commercial buyers, and they ultimately base their decision on cost. It will be low maintenance, and the system is such that it's automated, so you don't have to constantly maintain it and clean it and feed the briquettes. It's all automated system. And again, there's many power plants that are, their current heating systems are going out of style and just inefficient, so they're going to be looking to retrofit in the next few years.
I'm going to talk about the market entry. So some of the goals that the company expressed to us was they wanted to pay back their business loans in the shortest amount of time as possible. They wanted to become profitable fast, achieve high brand recognition, and to have a low-risk investment. So obviously not the easiest strategy to deal with. So what we suggest is to partner with manufacturers of biofuel stoves and boilers that Evelina had mentioned in order to, so that the consumers will be able to achieve the high efficiency. And it'll be mutually beneficial due to the increased exposure and distribution of the heating products. So for our strategy, we talked about contract manufacturing. Some of the pros that it's a low investment in a risky environment. There's no import tariffs. There's low exit barriers, and it'll also give us the ability to focus on marketing, sales, promotion, and to build the brand. It's also, we're able to likely find a processing mill to partner with because of the benefits of byproduct synergy, and there's no additional production facilities because it'll be vertically integrated into these processing mills. Some of the cons are there are lower returns. The communication between the two companies is vital to the success, and it's also harder to monitor the quality of the product. I mentioned in the last slide about byproduct synergy, and some of the benefits, you're able to turn the waste. So from these processing mills, the waste would normally, they'd have to just throw away. Now they're able to turn into a revenue stream. So it's also sustainable, and like I said, they're able to vertically integrate. For long-term strategy, if it is successful, yields positive results, and a large market share is achieved, we suggest to increase investment and ownership and to consider purchasing the production facility. An exit strategy, assuming things do not go as well in this Nizhny region, would be to export, like some of our competitors, into Western Europe.
Thermobrick will